What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody. Look, here's Simu Liu doing Simu Liu things once again. This guy is funny, man. He always sticks himself into some controversy where he doesn't need to, and he ends up just hurting himself in the end. You know, he always ends up torpedoing his own opportunities, his own career, his own chances at being a superstar. Why? Because I would prefer to be an activist. I'm an activist, and I'm here to clap back at all the conservatives online like Vince Dow who have their own opinion, who dare to have an opinion. That's basically what's happening here. Shout out to Marvin Montanaro on thatpartplace.com. Simu Liu meltdown at Vince Dow over rice. Over rice, y'all. This dude is going back and forth with cats over rice. It turns into a career reality check for the Marvel star. Now, look, if I was Simu Liu and I was his agent, I would say, hey, man, give me your social media. Give me all of your logins, all of your account passwords, and we about to get you up out of here. It's the same thing I would do with Rachel Zegler. I would treat Simu Liu like Rachel Zegler, and I would be like, I'm going to kick you off of social media. You will no longer have a social media presence except just to promote the next movie. And we can do that here. You don't need to be online saying nothing to nobody because all you do is just end up hurting yourself. Okay? This guy's an absolute idiot, man. Going back and forth with Vince Dow for what? Now, if you guys don't know who Vince Dow is, Vince Dow, he is a conservative commentator, Asian conservative commentator. He has a pretty sizable YouTube channel, you know, over 500,000 subscribers. That's pretty good. And his content's pretty good. If you like it, go check it out. I subscribe to him. I've been subscribed to him for a while. He's pretty good. But instead of like going back and forth with this guy, go to acting class. Like, you clearly have too much time on your hands. This guy is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, let's go ahead and read this. Simu Liu, star of Marvel's Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, is trending again, and as per usual, is not for reasons that flatter him. This time, it's all stemmed from a disagreement over, I think this should be rice, between Simu Liu and conservative commentator Vince Dow. The latest Simu drama occurred when Dow commented on a viral post showing a man eating rice with his hands. Dow, who is Vietnamese and Italian, called the practice gross and barbaric, clarifying that it was not part of his own family's traditions. All right, so we should say who the man eating rice with his hands is, because I think that's, you know, very vital as to why Dow was commenting on this to begin with. It's this guy, all right? Here's the guy eating rice with his hands. If you're not familiar with this person, this is Zohran Mamdani. This is the dude running for mayor of New York. It looks like he's going to win mayor of New York City, by the way. And he is a very, very, very big time socialist slash communist based on his ideals. So you can see why somebody like Vince Dow might want to say something about this cat. Now, look. I'm sorry, man. I just got to keep it a buck. All of this comes off as fake and phony to me. Maybe this is real. Maybe this is really how this guy eats on a daily basis. But this right here comes off as fake, phony, and it looks like it's trying to score political points. Like, look, I'm just like you guys. I'm just like you. I eat rice with my own hands, with my 2 fingers. All right? Meanwhile, there's like all kinds of other like utensils all over the table, right? Even this dish that's like right next to him, this has some sort of a utensil in it, but bro is eating rice with his hands. I'm sorry, it just comes off as fake. It comes off as inauthentic. It comes off as somebody trying to, like, you know, shake hands and kiss babies. Look, I'm one of you. I'm just like you guys. You don't have to worry about it. I eat my rice with my hands. All right? Okay? I'll be honest with you, man. This is probably take 4 or take 5 of this picture. Hey, Johnny, how far should I have my fingers in the rice? You know, should it be this deep?
Pause.
Should it be deeper than that?
Pause.
Should I put the rice right inside my mouth?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
This comes off as phony. So I understand why, you know, Vince Dow might have had something to say about it because it doesn't look real. All right. Now, look, let me jump right on to the tweets. Yeah, like here's what Vince said about it. He said, as an Asian, I feel I have an authority on rice. Eating rice with your hands is gross, strange, and barbaric. Nobody in my family has ever done this. He acts like utensils were never invented. Yeah. And that's like basically what he's saying about this picture. You know, there's utensils all over the place. Again, I think Vince is just calling out, oh, yeah, this guy's just virtue signaling. This guy is basically just putting this up as a photo op. He don't do this on a regular basis, and I believe him. I don't think this guy would do this on a regular basis. I could be wrong, but I think that's basically what Vince is saying, all right? But Simu Liu had to come back, and he had to have his own 2 cents. This is what Simu Liu said.
You don't have authority on jack shit. You're just putting your own culture down to try to make yourself more palatable to white conservatives, you dumb bitch. Acting like people don't get their hands dirty eating pizza or ribs or tacos.
Shut up, bitch!
Look, man. Look, Simu had to go there, right? He had to go there. You're just putting your own culture down to try to make yourself more palatable to white conservatives. See, that's what this guy thinks is going on. It's like, I'm trying to make myself more palatable to white conservatives. Well, I mean, you could argue that this guy is trying to make himself more palatable to the common man. And I think, again, that's what Vince Dow was pointing out. This is just a giant photo op. You don't eat like this in real life. This is not you in real life. You know, it comes off as phony. I'm trying to score political points right now. You know, again, this is probably the 5th take. This is the point that, what's your name, Vince Dow is trying to make. And I guess Simu Liu completely misses that point. He completely misses the point, again, because he wants to be an activist. And because this guy is a socialist / communist and Vince Dow is conservative, he's riding with his homie, all right? He's riding with this guy. And look, he says people don't get their hands dirty eating pizza or ribs or tacos. He's acting like that. People don't do that. Yeah, but see, there's a difference between eating pizza and ribs and tacos and stuffing your fingers into rice, all right? Like, these are legit finger foods. Like, yeah, I would eat pizza, but I wouldn't put my fingers in my mouth to eat the pizza. You got to put your fingers in your mouth if you want to eat rice by hand. You have to. There's no other way to it. You're not holding little individual grains of rice doing some dumb shit like that. So you're going to have to stick your fingers in your mouth. And I think that's what Vince Dow was referring to. Now, if you do this, again, I don't personally have a problem with it. Eat how you like, okay? I am not sitting up here criticizing. I'm saying that this guy is putting on some sort of a front. This is phony. This is not how he really gets down. But if he does, he does. It just doesn't come off that way. Especially, again, you're in a suit and a tie. You're not, like, I would see this picture if he was sitting out on the patio or at his crib with the homies and we all just kind of chilling and talking and he's got a plate of food and he's just like doing, I'd be like, all right, that's probably how he really gets down. But this looks like a photo op. All right? Somebody took a picture of him doing this. This does not show up as real, man. I'm sorry. And Simu Liu, he's the kind of idiot that falls for this dumb shit. And so, yeah, he ends up getting himself in trouble because he tried to call him out, and then everybody went to town. Hey, Gary from Nerd Erotic. Okay, but how is that Shang-Chi sequel coming? Yeah, exactly, man. That Shang-Chi sequel ain't working out too well, and with you sitting up here clapping at white conservatives, or anybody for that matter, you're not doing yourself no favors. He needs to shut up and get rid of his social media. I'm telling you, man. Use cutlery, you barbarian savage. Yeah, exactly, man. Nobody does that. Again, if people do it, they do it. I just don't see somebody that's running for the mayor of New York doing it. You know, that's just the way it is. Acting like people don't eat pizza or ribs or tacos with their hands is still more acting than you'll do in the Shang-Chi sequel. That isn't happening. Hell, shout out to Aaron Sparrow, man. Dude cracks me up, man. Paulie Latino Slant, you keep my tacos out of your goddamn mouth. Nobody eats tacos like that. All right. Nobody eats like that. Again, that's the whole point that Vince Dow was trying to say, is that shit looks messy as hell. Angel, casual reveal you better hope a K-pop role is out there for you with your bitch ass. Angel killing me, man. We got Kang Min Lee, Simu. I doubt you eat plain rice with your bare hands, you fraudulent sellout. Let's try your self-flagellating virtue signal in mainland China and see where it gets you. I'm sure stuffing your face with fried rice using your bare hands would be well received. That's exactly the point. I think this is the point that what's the name is trying to make, man, is that nobody's doing this, okay, in mainland China, and that's your culture, you know? But that's what it is. It's virtue signaling, all right? Zoran Mandani was virtue signaling. And then here's Simu Liu, also virtue signaling, okay? Barton Bella comes back. You cried about Boba Tea. Sit the fuck down, bruh. I mean, that Boba Tea situation, right? The Boba Tea situation is where Simu Liu showed himself just to be a giant asshole.
So, for my followers who don't engage with this celebrity stuff, which I don't normally, Simu Liu is a famous Chinese-Canadian actor who got a pair of French-Canadian entrepreneurs cancelled and their business destroyed because they were attempting to sell boba drinks in a can. He feels that boba is an oriental thing that belongs strictly to us and not them. The hypocrisy of boba liberals, speaking as a boba conservative, I suppose, and woke activists and virtue signalers in general often makes me laugh. They're very quick to point the finger or the pitchforks on the issue of cultural appropriation, but often engage in it themselves.
This Dragon's Den is kind of like Shark Tank. Okay, it's like a Shark Tank where people go on and they present their products and they try to get investment money. Yeah, somebody had $1 million of investment going into this company and they ended up pulling it thanks to Simu Liu. Thanks to Simu Liu and his virtue signaling ass. Talking about some cultural appropriation. Bro, everything you wearing, you got on right now, this little watch you got on, this little outfit he was wearing, all of this shit is cultural appropriation if you want to talk about it. But it's only a cultural appropriation when it's my culture you're appropriating. Yeah, then look, Vince Dow, he actually had the perfect comeback to this situation. He says, is this guy famous or something? Because I don't know who he is. Oh, you don't? You don't know who he is? Not surprising. Not surprising because this guy's career is on the precipice of disaster. He's ready to go over the side of a cliff because he's not acting in anything. I can't remember the last thing he was in. Well, I guess he was in Marvel Zombies, right? As his voice. Okay. And then he's going to be in Doomsday, right? Yeah, Vince, he's one of the chairs in Doomsday. yeah, there he is, right? Simu Liu. He's one of the chairs in Doomsday. And in my opinion, this guy ain't going to be nothing but a red shirt. He's going to be a red shirt like from the Star Trek, you know? One of them guys that just go down to die. He's a glorified extra. That's it. That's all he is. He's just a glorified extra in Doomsday. He's going to get killed off in the first 5 minutes. One of those guys that makes Dr. Doom, oh man, Dr. Doom is invincible. Look how easily he dispatched with Shang-Chi. That's basically what he's there for. He's not there to be important to the plot or anything because he's not important to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's why he don't have a sequel. Nobody cares about his character. Nobody cares about him as an actor. He don't seem to care about his own career. Again, the only thing he is here for is just to be a cheap virtue signal, and that's it, okay? You don't have authority on jack shit. You don't have authority on your own career, bro. Go get a career, why don't you? Put the social media shit down and try to be an actor. All right? It's too funny, man. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about it, man. Again, Vince Dow had the perfect clap back for it. This guy is a nothing burger. He's about to die in Doomsday, and then that's going to be it. We will never hear from him again. The height of his career will be Shang-Chi. That's going to be the tippy top of his career. And if that's good for him, that's good for him. Go ahead and virtue signal and do all this other dumb shit, but it's not going to help you, all right? Trying to talk about white conservatives and all this other kind of stuff, man. I'm telling you, man, all of these activists, they're in for a rude awakening when they, man, the phone ain't rang in a while. Hey, agent, what's going on with my career? Hello? It's just like they're going to be getting hung up on because they don't have a career anymore. People are tired of this crap, man. This dude is too hell. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.